Hi guys, my name is Lisa, and from the grades of 3rd grade to 10th grade, I was in this community theater that heavily resembled Dance Moms, just like theater equivalent and without a television set. So let's go talk about that, completely unedited, by the way. So I got into this community theater when I was in 3rd grade because my school didn't have a theater program, and my mom's best friend's daughter was in this thing. We're gonna call it Moonlight Theater because I'm trying to like not use the names of anything, right? So Moonlight Theater, they're doing this production of Mary Poppins Jr. My mom's best friend calls her up. She's like, hey, does Elisa want to do this? And of course, since I was a little diva as a child, I was like, yes, I want to do this. So I pull up. I actually go to dance class first because my dance studio was in the same strip mall as this community theater. So I come from my jazz class in my like little leotard and everything, walk over in my little booties, because we live in like Michigan, and I auditioned for Mary Poppins Jr. and I think I did very good. I thought I gave the best performance I possibly could have. I was placed in the ensemble. I was so happy. I was jumping with joy. So I did my first show there. I literally loved it. I fell in love with it. It was amazing. Now this theater is like very, very small. I want to like just like keep this in mind. It's like a shack, okay? Like, okay, not actually a shack, but it used to be like a Zap Zone. It used to be like an arcade. So there's like arcade things all over it, and there's like random. It's not really well maintained, and the directors are very, I don't even know how I didn't like address this in my other recordings, but the director was a really old man. Like, he's in his like 70s. He's super old, okay? We're gonna call him Timothy for later reference. So that was kind of insane. But the theater is very old. There's like screws everywhere. So I kept on doing shows there. Like, I think I did 10 shows there between 3rd grade and 5th grade. And after that, like, COVID hit. So I had to take a break from 6th and 7th grade. No, not, I was there 7th grade. So from 5th and 6th grade, I couldn't do it because the theater was shut down. 7th grade, I did this program called Rising Stars, which is, you know what? I don't even fucking care about names anymore. So I did this program called Rising Stars, and it's like this like developmental like program, like for like 6th to 9th graders. Very toxic. I don't know who approved this because it was awful. Okay, so basically how you audition for shows in Rising Stars, so it was like supposed to like help you be better at acting, but it very much like showed like a superiority complex. Like, this is where it gets like Dance Moms level. So in order to audition for shows, you had to concoct you had to go perform a monologue in front of all your peers on the stage in all blacks and everything. Except here's the thing, not only did they was that your audition, they scored those bitches. Okay, they scored them, right? So you got compared via your scores, and they announced top 5 and everything, right? And so that was awful. And they had like teams too. So like you were on a team. Like there was like sapphire, silver, ivory, ebony, emerald. Like there was teams. So you guys were competing against each other the whole fucking time. Which is like, we were 12. Okay, we were like literally 12. I don't know why we were like, but it got so competitive and so toxic because everybody wanted to be the lead part. And he had favorites. This guy had favorites, and I clearly was not one of them. He hated my guts. I don't even know why he hated my guts, because I feel like I'm a pretty likable person. Okay, I am pretty mellow. I do not do that much. Okay, but guy hated my guts. And there was this one girl, we're gonna call her Angelica, and so she's blonde, sort of pretty, not really anymore, but I digress. And she was the lead in every flipping show. Okay, and the junior shows. By the way, we were doing junior shows at this point too. So we were doing like 12 shows a year because we were also doing adult shows. So we were doing shows with the adults, shows with the kids, and shows with like this little group. Okay, so we were doing like 13, 14 shows a year. Okay, so we would have like tech weeks back to back. I'm not even kidding. Like March of like 2021, I had like 4 tech weeks back to back, like tech week shows, and we'd be rehearsing different shows at the same time too. So pretty much we'd be at rehearsal almost every day. Saturdays, we'd be at the theater all day rehearsing different shows. Sometimes you'd have like 2 rehearsals and then a show, right? So this thing got super, like, very competitive very, very quick. To top it off, the music director for the junior shows, his son, actually, we're gonna call him Landon. So Landon was also in this whole program, and then there was a lot of people, but it got very dramatic very quickly, and people like were very competitive, and it was like very mean, and the director would put a ton of stress on us, by the way. So like these like Rising Star shows, we would not have a lot of time to do them. Like he would purposely cut down time because he's like, that's what makes you a better actor or something like that. So he would give us like no time to do these things at all. And I'm like, okay, we were like we were literally like 12, 13-year-olds. By the way, none of us were homeschooled. None of us, I mean, some of us were, but like this was like we also went to school this entire time. So we'd go from school directly to theater, like every single day of the week. It was pretty crazy. And it was almost super cultish because it felt like you wouldn't get anywhere if you quit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like if you quit, you had no future, and I was so scared to quit. But this director hated me. So there was like the whole Rising Stars things. So we'd be putting on entire shows within a week, on a school week, with 2 rehearsals, because we'd rehearse these shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Terrifying. Somehow we'd pull it together. Crazy shit. While doing musicals, and I've always been a way better singer than I have been an actor. That's just always how I've been. I've always been a singer. And he had favorites, and the favorites would get the lead every single time. And it got to the point, and like one of the favorites was Landon, who was like the music director's son. Guys, I know this is going everywhere. And Angelica. Yeah, so they were the leads in like every single show, plus a few other people. But the music director, okay, we're going all over the place. But so here's my little stories. So my music director during Finding Nemo, my 8th grade year, right? So Timothy, the director, and I need to go name Landon's dad. So we're gonna call him the music director. We're gonna call him the first music director. Actually, there's 2 music directors. We're gonna call him like Jim. Okay, so Jim and Timothy. Big fight. Okay, big fight. There's cursing, there's everything. By the way, Jim does the music directing. His wife, so whole in the family, right? His wife did the like costumes and everything and props. So it was a very big thing. Like, it was a big scandal. And they just started screaming at each other during Tech Week, right? Like, this was the theater equivalent of a fucking divorce. Very messy. To top it off, like, they, like, the music, like, Jim and his wife, we're gonna call her Sharon. So Jim and Sharon go start their own community theater, like, away. And they keep on competing. The 2 community theaters keep on competing, by the way. Like, insane shit. To the point that, like, if you went to one, you were low-key blacklisted from the other. And they kept on trying to scout you from the other theater. It was really crazy shit. And they would also keep on trying to schedule shows at the same time, so you couldn't do both shows. But there was a lot of favoritism. Also, Timothy hated me. Like, Timothy despised my fucking... He still despises my guts. I don't know what I did. I really don't know, because I feel like I'm a pretty likable person. Sorry about this rant, but, guy hates me. This is, like... I'm sorry if this is incoherent. This, like, feels like I'm on FaceTime or something. But, right after the whole fallout of Finding Nemo, it's my last Rising Stars show, because you could do Rising Stars from 7th to, like, 6th grade to 9th grade, and it was my 9th grade year. It was the first season, and this is actually what made me quit Rising Stars specifically, was because he did this show called Cinderella Around the World, which was, like, Cinderella stories from around the world, and there was, like, a Native American one, a Russian one, and, like, a Chinese one. But here's the thing. Our theater was almost completely white, with 1 Mexican girl and 1 half Korean girl. And of course, because his favoritism was so bad, he casted the blondes, because he had a thing with blondes. I personally think that, like, there's something deeper going on there, but this thing with blondes, right? So that all happened, and, like, I went to an international school at the time, and I was like, if somebody finds out I'm in the show, I'm gonna get fucking canceled. So I quit, right? And I'm very glad I did. Like, very glad. And so anyway, then this new director comes in. I'm actually just gonna use his name this time, because I don't like him. Like, I don't care. So his name's Dan, okay? So Dan comes in, and, Dan is not music qualified. He has, like, an online degree. He teaches, like, elementary school music at one of the local elementary schools, but this is where it starts to get super unfair. So already this thing's really crazy, and at this point, I'd aged out of Rising Stars, okay? But my siblings were Rising Stars age, so for some reason, anybody who went to a specific middle school in Dan's district got better parts than everybody else did. Like, he would only give good parts to people from his school, even though, by the way, this theater wasn't in that school district too. And this was a very rich school district. So it got to so these kids, this is from my best friend, okay? So these kids would just start like being aggressive towards each other. Well, and they were like, they had like one big friend group. Apparently they're the popular kids too. They had one big friend group, and they would just like harass, like they were very competitive about getting good parts, and they always got good parts. So they always thought they were way better than they actually were, and they're not even that good. I'm gonna be so frank, they're not good, because I've watched the shows. They're not good. And I wouldn't be mean about that if you weren't a bad person. That's just like how I feel. Like, I won't be mean if you don't give me a reason to be mean, and that is my reason to be mean. But they're just starting drama. They're like making up fake rumors, like harassing, bullying little kids. By the way, I once got in trouble. This might be why my director hates me, because his two favorites, his first favorites, because I feel like there's like a new cycle of kids, but his two first favorites, they don't like me. Their name, ironically, Angelica's one of them, and then we're gonna call her like, what's the other one? We're gonna call her Lila. Angelica and Lila, they do not like me. And I saw them bullying like an autistic kid, and I was like, during one of the show's rehearsals, and I was actually that's like the one time I was the lead of the show. And I was like, I'm not doing this shit, okay? Like, you don't get to bully little kids. So obviously I cussed them out in Albanian, because I can't cuss them out in English in front of little children. So I cussed them out in Albanian instead, bilingual baddie. They didn't like that, and then they got really mad at me. And they said I was overreacting, and I'm like, you're literally bullying a little kid. But yeah, so this director, oh, by the way, the new music director, everybody low-key thinks he's a pedo. And he, like, all, like, the high school girls, because these are all the middle school ones I'm talking about. The middle school ones are his favorite, but he keeps on creeping on all the high school girls. He even started creeping on me for a second, but, like, I don't go there enough. They also keep on trying to get me to come back. No. And also their golden boy, who used to be my best friend, he, like, kind of went all like, okay, so he's the most two-faced individual I've ever met, and, like, I'm not naming names because he will probably find this, but so if you're watching this, you know who you are. We're gonna call him Dylan. Dylan, you know who you are, okay? So this guy, okay, so he's my best friend, right? He was like one of my best friends. He was literally in my car more than my older brother is, who didn't do theater, because me, my little brother, my little sister did theater, okay? So he was like we're the same grade, we're only a few months apart. He was like my best friend, right? I told him all my deepest, darkest secrets, okay? What does this guy do? He, records me shit-talking in my own car that he requested to be in so he could shit-talk. And then he plays it for the girl. Ironically, it's Lila. Ironically, you know why he does it? Because he wants to get with Lila. It's not because he liked Lila, because this is the same guy who said he didn't like Lila and said he was a bad person. Same thing. He also said the same thing about Angelica, because my best friend, her name's also, we're gonna call her also Angelica, because I'm not gonna drag her name down in the mud. So my Angelica, is just minding her own business. Other Angelica fucking hates my Angelica because they have the same name. I don't know why. She's still threatened. Like, she's still, like, is, like, starting active rumors about my Angelica. I don't know why. Like, genuinely, like, I don't understand, like, what you're doing. Also, sorry if I sound sick. I am sick. But I don't know what, like, so he keeps on being like, by the way, him and my Angelica are supposed to be best friends. Okay, supposedly. Like, they direct shows together and everything, right? At this same community theater. Community theater, okay? So I'm just like, so he keeps on saying, oh yeah, I don't, and I keep on talking about how much I do not like Lila and the other Angelica, because I think they're bad people, and I think that they use looks for clout and are just mean people altogether. Like, I think they bully a ton of kids, and I also think if you're gonna be that mean, at least be super talented, but they're not, so they're just favorited for some odd reason, and they also happen to go to that school district that I previously mentioned. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I agree with you. And then behind my back, he's friends with them, and he's friends, the girl who made my Angelica's life hell, he's like, yeah, like, he's friends with both of them. I'm like, you cannot be friends with everybody, okay? Like, you cannot. A friend to all is a friend to none. But so he records me in my own car, so I didn't even know this, and I cut him off right afterwards. By the way, he also shit talks me to my own siblings, which is like really, and then threatened my 12-year-old little sister about telling me things. I'm like, me and my siblings are super, super close, okay? I consider them like some of my best friends in the world. So it's just like, bro. Yeah. And then he's also he's like 16, 17, by the way, at this point. He's 16, so we're the same age. And he's hanging out, he's having sleepovers with the middle school girls at their houses as like he's just casually sleeping over with like 12-year-old girls. I'm like, that's weird. That's fucking weird. You're weird. Okay? Like, I'm sorry if I think that you're just a wee bit weird for like that's just creepy. Like, go and pick on somebody your own age. And you know why? You know why all of his friends are like middle school age? Because all the ones that are in high school and still go to that community theater, because a lot left to go to their school theaters, right? He shit talks all of his friends to each other. Like all he does is shit talk. All he does is shit talk. Personally, I think he's secretly gay, but I digress. I really hope you improve personality wise, but anyway, he also has dated pretty much every single girl in our age group, led them on because his longest relationship's like 2 weeks. But I think he's actually now in a relationship for a month, so good for him. Maybe that's some character improvement. But he shit talks and like yes, should I have said nicer words in that recording of me shit talking Lila? Maybe. Okay, yes, I did. Okay, may Allah forgive me. I am very sorry. I'm also sorry for all the swear words I have used in this video. Allah, please forgive me. But like, yeah, but I wasn't lying. Like, that's like the thing. Like, and I'm not gonna go and pretend to be friends with Lila right afterwards because we have not liked each other since fucking 7th grade, right? This guy, like, he's like, oh, I felt bad about doing it, and he was also gonna apologize to me over fucking text! Over text! You're not mad that you hurt my feelings. You're mad that you got caught and that I found out, okay? Because or else you'd go and, like, find me in person and apologize. Like, but he's just, like, I can't with him. Also, he's the lead every single time, and he thinks he's the best actor in the world. And, well, I'm not saying he's bad at acting. I am saying you are not good enough at acting to be that bad, to be that narcissistic. That's, like, I love singing. Singing is my whole entire thing. I am not good enough at singing to be an absolute asshole. Okay, I'm not like Echo Pacone, and Echo Pacone's a sweetie pie. Sorry about that, but she's amazing. So even then, like, I am not like, no, you are not talented enough to be an asshole. Okay, you're not talented enough like to be an asshole. I'm not saying you're not talented, but like, and he's leading every single show because obviously he's a teenage guy. But yeah, so basically a ton of toxic things. I'm sorry if this feels like I'm ranting. I kind of low-key am. To the internet. Yeah. And I was super sick and skipping school today. But I just, like, I can't with two-faced individuals. Like, so. And this one school. Also, yeah. I don't even know what else to say. If you have any questions, I guess comment them if you're watching this rant. I also did not edit any of this, so all of this is, like, literally, like, live. And just me, like, ranting. So, bye.